In this tutorial, we'll be showing you how to set up a WooCommerce store on a managed web hosting plan designed especially for WooCommerce. We will also explain how these managed hosting plans can help you grow your e-commerce store with the help of highly valuable plugins worth hundreds and thousands of dollars, and how you can get these plugins all for free. But before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get all the web hosting insights, tips and tricks that no one else is sharing. The first thing that you will have to do is to purchase a domain name for your WooCommerce store. To buy a domain name for your website, click the link in the description of this video and head over to Namecheap. Here, just search for a domain that you'd like to have for your website. For the purposes of this tutorial, I am going to choose the domain name Kryptonium. So Kryptonium.xyz, and as you can see, this domain is available. By the way guys, an important note, I'm going for a .xyz just for the purposes of this tutorial. In reality, I recommend that you go for a .com domain, and as you can see, these guys are selling .com domains for just $888 per year, which is probably the cheapest you can get a .com domain for. So if you want to purchase a .com domain, go ahead and use the link in the description to get your .com at the cheapest possible price. In this tutorial, I'm just gonna go with Kryptonium.xyz. So to purchase the domain, just click Add to Cart and then proceed to the checkout. Once you're on the checkout page, you have to take care of two things. First of all, just make sure that auto renewal of your domain is enabled, and secondly, your WhoisGuard is turned on. What WhoisGuard does is that it hides your personal information from the public. So make sure that it is enabled and it is set to auto renew. After taking care of that, you can now proceed to confirm the order. Here you'll just be asked about your email address and your credit card details. After that, the domain is all yours. So now that you have registered your domain, open up a browser and type in your domain URL. Once you do that, you will see a parking page that looks something like this. A parking page is nothing but a temporary web page that is displayed on your URL while you configure the actual web hosting service. By the way, keep in mind that it may take up to an hour or so for the parking page to show up on your website URL. And in case if you have purchased a .com domain, you will have to activate that domain by clicking the link in the email which is sent to you right after you have purchased the .com domain. So now that you have purchased a domain for your website, it's time to purchase a web hosting service. Keep in mind that a web hosting service is not the same thing as domain name registration. And just because you have purchased a domain name doesn't mean that you have automatically purchased a web hosting service. Also know that just like what we are doing in this tutorial, you can purchase a domain name from one company and a web hosting service from another company. Since we're building a WooCommerce website, we'll need a web hosting service that is designed especially for WooCommerce, which is why we recommend purchasing a managed WooCommerce hosting plan from Nexcess using the link in the description below. Once you click the link in the description below, you'll be redirected to this landing page with the latest offers. If you purchase managed WooCommerce hosting from Nexcess, you'll get access to tons of other high-value plugins, including one of the best affiliate marketing softwares with which you can increase your sales by selling through affiliates, and one of the best tutorials on WooCommerce to help you get started, and also one of the leading themes for WordPress. So consider this: if you purchase the starter package, you get access to an additional $802 per year worth of premium features. If you purchase the creator package, you can enjoy an additional $1,759 per year worth of premium features. And if you purchase the merchant package, you can avail premium features worth $2,107 per year. And as you continue to upgrade, you can benefit from even more and more premium features, all for free. Also note that if you pay annually for any of these packages, you can receive free web hosting for 2 months. Since this is just a tutorial, we'll go ahead and purchase the starter WooCommerce web hosting package, which is ideal for one WooCommerce stores with less than 500 orders an hour. To order this web hosting package, click Get Started. As you can see, Nexcess is also donating to No Kid Hungry for every new order, so I personally think that these guys deserve some new orders. To place your order, fill in your first name, last name, email address, and password, and proceed to the next step. After you have created your profile, you should first specify the domain that you're planning to host. So in our case, it's kryptonium.xyz. So let's just enter that. Next, select a data center location that is closest to your users in order to minimize latency. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'll be going with Southfield, Michigan, but you have the option to choose from London, Sydney, San Jose, or Amsterdam. Next, give a nickname to your plan. I will just call it Plan 1. Plan 1 and proceed to the next step. Here, just enter your billing details and proceed to the payment. After you have made the payment, you'll have to wait for a couple of minutes for the WooCommerce to be installed on your website. If you're not automatically redirected to the Plans dashboard, just go over to the left menu and select Plans. Now the first thing you'll notice is that your WooCommerce website has automatically been created by Nexcess. And to check it, just click on the plan details and copy this temporary domain name and paste it into your browser address bar. And voila, kryptonium.xyz. Now in order to point your domain name to your website, you will have to modify the DNS records of your domain. In order to do that, just head back over to your domain name registrar and click under the domain list, find your domain name and click Manage to access the settings of your domain. Now the first thing that you need to do here is to turn off the parking page, which I have shown you earlier. To do that, just scroll down over to Other Domain Settings and turn off the parking page. And to actually verify that the parking page has been turned off, just type your domain URL into the address bar and you'll get a message that the server was not found. If this is the case, you're good to go. And notice how typing in kryptonium.xyz does not point to the actual website, which is what we'll be doing in a moment. And to actually point kryptonium.xyz to this website, we'll have to modify the advanced DNS records of your domain. Now the first DNS record that you will have to add under host records is the A record, which will basically point your domain name to the IP address of your website. And to do that, simply copy the IP address from here and head back over to the advanced DNS settings of your domain and paste it in the IP address field over here. As for the host, it will be the domain name of your website, which in our case is kryptonium.xyz. So let's just copy that from here as well and paste it in the host field. For the TTL, set it to be the minimum possible value and click on the tick icon to save changes. So after an hour or so, Let's see if the changes have taken effect. To check that, open up a browser and type in your domain name, whatever that is, .com, .xyz, and then press enter. But now, as you can see, just typing in cryptonium.xyz brings us to our website. Now at the moment, it seems that there is no SSL certificate installed on this website when Nexcess actually claims that there is an SSL certificate. But as you can see, it just shows that there is no SSL certificate installed on the website. Well, in reality, this is not the case, as you'll be able to verify if you go to the HTTPS version of your website. You will see that indeed the SSL certificate is installed on your website. As you can see now, the SSL certificate is installed on your website, and the SSL certificate is offered by Let's Encrypt. So this is where we have another problem. You see, when someone types in cryptonium.xyz or yourdomain.com into the address bar of the browser, they are not redirected to the SSL or the secure version of the website. And this is why before we begin customizing this website, we'll actually redirect cryptonium.xyz to the HTTPS version or the secure version of the website. In order to redirect traffic to the secure version of your website, you'll need to add some additional code to one of the files stored on your server, which is known as the .htaccess file. And to do that, head back over to your Nexcess dashboard and click on your website. Once you're on this dashboard, click on the Access tab from the left menu, and we'll be accessing the files of your website using FTP or File Transfer Protocol. But before you can access your website files via FTP, you'll need to download a free FTP client known as FileZilla, and the link to this FTP client will be in the description below. After you have downloaded FileZilla, head back over to your Nexcess dashboard, and we'll now need to access your website files via FTP. And in order to do that, we'll need a couple of things, the first of which is the host name and the username, and then a password that you're going to create. So open up FileZilla, and here you will need to enter the host, the username, and the password, and the port number, which will be 21 because we are accessing your files via the FTP port. So let's get the host name from the Nexcess dashboard. By just clicking on the host name, it will be automatically copied so that you can paste it into FileZilla. Next, we'll need the username. So switch back over to Nexcess and copy the username from here, and now paste it into FileZilla. Next, you'll need a password, and you'll need to set this in Nexcess. In order to do that, just click the edit button here and click generate a password, or if you want, you can just set up a password on your own. In this case, I will just copy this password and click submit. Once your FTP user details have been updated, which is that you now have a password, you can go on and just paste it here, and as I said, port 21 for connection via FTP, and click quick connect. When you see this message, just press OK. As you can see, you now have access to all of your website files, and the file that we will be editing is in the public HTML folder. So double click that, and this is the file that we need to edit. But before you can make any changes to the file, to the original file on the server, it is highly recommended that you take a backup of this file. And in fact, whenever you make any changes for any kinds of updates, it is always recommended to take a backup before you proceed. So right now on the left side, I have created a folder called Kryptonium on my local PC, and I will just be copying this .htaccess, the original file, over to my local PC. Just click OK. You can also press always trust certificate in future sessions. You can check this and press OK. Now once you have made a backup of this file and you have stored it on your local PC, we can go ahead and edit the file and open it up in a text editor. Just press OK again. So this is the file that we need to edit. Come over here to the first line and just press enter a couple of times so that we can copy the code and paste it over here. So copy the code and paste it here in the .htaccess file. To save changes, head over to File and click Save. When you exit the text editor, you will see a message that a file has been changed and asks you if you would like to upload this file back to the server. So select this option, Finish Editing, and delete the local file and click Yes to upload this file back to the server. Click OK again. Just to verify, let's click on Edit File again, just to see if all the changes have taken effect. And as you can see, our changes have taken effect. So close the text editor again, and we can now verify that if you type in yourdomain.com into your address bar, or in our case kryptonium.xyz, it will be redirected to the SSL version of the website or the secure version of the website. So are we done now? Not yet. Why? Let's say that someone types in www before kryptonium.xyz. What would happen then? As you can see, typing in www.kryptonium.xyz will lead to an unsecure page. Why is that so? This is because we haven't enabled SSL for www.kryptonium.xyz, and in order to do that, we'll have to head back over to Nexcess and click Back to Plan. Open up your plan and access the settings of your website. Once you're on the dashboard of your website, go to the SSL settings from the left menu and enable the SSL certificate for www.yourdomain.com, in our case kryptonium.xyz, and click Issue Certificate. Click Confirm. Your SSL certificate on the www.yourdomain.com should now be installed. And to verify that, head back over to your browser, type in www.yourdomain.com and press enter to see if the effects have taken place. And as you can see, typing in www.kryptonium.xyz leads you to a secure web page. Are we done here? Well, almost. So the last change that you need to make is to make sure that your WooCommerce website is hosted on kryptonium.xyz and not on the www subdomain of kryptonium.xyz. And in order to do that, you'll have to add this additional code to the .htaccess file. You'll find all of these codes in the description of this video, and we'll also leave a link to these on our website. So head back over to FileZilla and let's repeat the process. First, let's drag and drop this to the local folder and let's wait for it to download. Press OK. And when this pop-up appears, just click Overwrite to overwrite the file that's already there. Now we can proceed to edit the file on the server. Click View Edit and click Discard Local File and then Download and Edit File anew. Click OK. Let's make some space for the new code. Copy this code and paste it into the .htaccess file. After you have done that, just click Save. After saving the file, just exit the text editor. You will see this pop up again, so to upload the file, check this option and click Yes. And to verify that everything is actually working, head back over to the browser and type in www.yourdomain.com, and in our case www.cryptonium.xyz, and press enter to see if the changes have taken effect. And as you can see, typing in www.cryptonium.xyz successfully redirects to just cryptonium.xyz. So is the nerdy stuff over now? Not yet. As you can see, if you come and click on the cart button here, you'll see that a weird crazy domain appears in the address bar, which is not the same as the domain of your website. And the reason for this is that WooCommerce is currently installed on this temporary domain, which, as you remember, was assigned to us when we were installing the Nexcess plan. So in order to change that, you'll have to contact Nexcess support from here, and they will do a manual search and replace to replace your temporary domain with your actual domain. And now that we have solved all of the technical nerdy issues, we can move on to create the actual website. To learn more about why we recommend Nexcess for WooCommerce and how Nexcess can help you accelerate your business, check out our detailed review from the link in the description. In the following tutorials, we will be demonstrating how to create a WooCommerce website step by step with the help of leading WordPress themes and plugins. Stay tuned.